the actions of black people that did occur that we do have documentation on, and you're saying that I gave you two divisions.
So those family members.
Oh, okay. So now you want to parse out how many white people own slaves then? So do you see where this goes?
It does get weird, and that's kind of a point. And Nathan, you want to call something stupid? A person with intelligence would know a policy like this has to be simple. It has to be easy to understand. It can't be convoluted. And everything you're proposing is super convoluted. The administration of a program by itself, based on the research of it, would be billions of dollars by itself, the way that you're structuring it. You have to have something that's easy for people to understand, easy to administrate, and solves it in a very straightforward way. And then guess what, Nathan? If that happens, the lowest common denominator, you can go ahead and make a fair argument later. But if you're smart about it, focus on simplicity.
Wow. Fucking genius.
So right now, if you're going to do a DNA test that Nathan articulated, just to test all black people in regards to it, right now, today, average is about $2,000 to do the comprehensive studies. They may actually be more. Let's say the government, they're going to probably tack on another $3,000 just because God forbid actually do it at cost. So let's say on the safe side, we do 2,000, just that. That becomes $101.5 billion. That's just for the testing. Then it's going to come down to the administration, the review of the results, all of those aspects, because this isn't just like a 23andMe program. This is a massive one. That $100 billion will actually probably go to about, I'd say, $500 to $1 trillion when all is said and done. That's just to conduct the analysis. That's just to do it.
Gotcha. How much money did we pay when we went to Afghanistan?
That's irrelevant to it. You're asking for additional cost.
So we're spending $23 trillion in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Nathan, really quick. To Viking's point, we already have these politicians taking years to set up reparations panels just to discuss reparations. Now, if we follow Viking, what he just noted about the testing, it will take another years-long panel just to review the DNA test results. This is a mute discussion, reparations.
I never said
it would probably take, to New York, to your point, tonight, to your point, it would probably be 50 years before you get all the samples tested, collected, and you're looking 50 to 100 years. You're looking half to full century.
Everybody's at.
No, they don't, because you're going to demand everybody's going. Wait, stop talking, Nathan. First off, if you're going to go down this pathway, I, as a citizen, am going to demand absolutely everyone that wants a fucking reparation get a test. I don't care about your 23andMe, about your private belief if you have photographs in your family tree. I'm going to ask for a DNA check to validate, and God forbid you come back like 40, 50% white, and then all of a sudden I'm going to say, well, you're excluded off of that, because that's going to be my compensation on it. And then I'm going then to get all these results and get all like millions of people tested. Like literally, you think it's a small group, but it's 12% of 350 million. What is that number?
40 million.
Somewhere?
40 million.
20 fucking million people to get tested, to have those results analyzed. That will take close to 100 fucking years to do.
Wait, so you guys don't?
You know what? Hold on. You know what's hilarious? You know what's hilarious?
What'd you say?
They already have it. But the hilarious thing about what he was saying is this, right? We don't even talk about how many black women was raped. When you talk about, oh, you got 30% white in you, you don't qualify.
Tell us the number.
A lot of people were fucked. These black women were
How many,
raped.
Nathan? How many? What's the number? What's the number?
We need proof. You just can't Google. You don't just get it. No, we're not going to Google. We want some proof. You just brought it up.
Wait.
There it is.
Black people being raped during slavery. History books teach y'all that?
Right, and how many white men died in the Civil War for your black
ass? That's why
ass?
these Epstein pedophile rapists who's sick and ice keep screaming to the top of their lungs, what proof do you have? What proof? Motherfucker, it's in our fucking makeup, dummy.
Oh, it's in your makeup. What else is in your makeup?
It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy.
That's racist. That's racist. Like, can't say that.
I'm 10 times smarter.
That was the 1% of me that actually did
So,
test to have African American MBC.
and this is why we need
By a
it. For
23.
scumbags like Sid and Ice.
So now we could. Wait, we can do this even further. So if you have indigenous populations, if you're related to your Choctaw or fucking Sioux, well then we can discount you because we can consider you more indigenous. And since you like to go around the app claiming, oh, Native Americans got reservations, so that's their reparations, you've already received it. We're done. What is that? A quarter of the population? I'll give you that. 25%. No, wait. No. Talking. So 25% is immediately disqualified. You said rape. So, all right, we'll give you 25% of that were rape. So we'll include them in. Then the rest can be dismissed. So what does that leave us with? 10 million? Okay, I still need 10 million people to get fucking DNA tested. They have to show up. They have to comply with the test. They have to go out and analyze this. They're going to take a long fucking time to do that. That's going to take years to do 10 million. Fuck, if you just do your 23andMe and that's a shitty DNA test and it still takes you 6 months for that shit, you're still looking at 10 million people with only a handful of labs out there that are going to be able to do this kind of analysis. It's a fucking absurd.
Everybody remember COVID-19? You know what COVID-19 was about? Almost every American got fucking tested ASAP. He got COVID-19 shots. So
testing for a virus is a lot different than doing a sequential DNA study.
It can be done.
No, it can't. It's not even in the same fucking ballpark, you idiot. You're retarded.
Over 300 million Americans.
I test for a fucking positive indicator. It's like a pregnancy test, you idiot. You can't do that on a fucking DNA sequencer. It does that way.
Here's the process of elimination. If your family,
read National Geographic or Scientific America, like at least understand what you're asking. You can't just like fucking, we tested for COVID, so this should be really easy. No, it is easy. It isn't.
We did a process of elimination. Just because you're a black, it's people that qualify to actually take the test. A lot of some people who are first generation Black Americans, they're disqualified. If they came here as an immigrant after the 70s, you're disqualified. That's millions of people right there.
Well, does that mean that like you had a dad that's somewhere in there, that 50% of your DNA from the 70s came from some guy from Nigeria? All of a sudden means that you're no longer qualified? Is that it?
That's the way we gotta look at it.
I'm asking a serious question. No, it's not filibuster. I'm just asking a direct question. If your dad or mom came from Africa or a Caribbean in the fucking 70s, and then had your genetic line, had you or your mom or your dad, now does that mean you're disqualified? 50%.
If you was born here in the Jim Crow era, which is easily to be proven, if you have documentation.
How is it easy to be proven?
You don't have to take a DNA test.
How is this easy to prove?
How come the government, Brad, let me ask you.
Documentation. They have all the documentation.
That's a fucking moron.
Wait, hold on, Nathan. I gotta ask this. Because now I'm sitting here wondering if you don't agree that the government has birth records, death certificates, census records, marriage records, wills, probate documents, military records, Freedmen's Bureau records, slave schedules, and other historical archives, okay, to determine lineage-based reparations. I mean, we have to understand this, right? It can go beyond DNA can be included, but we have to know that the government has records, right?
So 9, there are records, possibly. That would be one area about it. But remember, I didn't bring up DNA. This twat did. So he was the one that we could do DNA testing like it could be COVID era, which that's impossible to do. You're a lot smarter. So shut up, Nathan. Your name's not Brad, and no one would confuse my intelligence with yours. So I'm definitely far up on the evolutionary chart in terms of like fucking knowledge. So yes, we do have those. But I'm arguing his points. He said we would do DNA testing. So now that that's shot to shit, records could be there. But then this idiot compounded it saying, if you came here in the 1970s and not to today, you would be excluded. My question is, if one of your parents came here in the 1970s and fucking married your mom or your dad, who may have lineage to that, does that mean you are now disqualified from that? Because again, it goes down to those direct distinctions, the parameters. There's going to be guidelines, and no one's just going to do it because you have one drop. That shit's not going to fly.
Yeah, I agree. That one shit rule is not going to fly. I agree with that 100%.
Maybe they give 50%. If they're giving out 50,000, but the other parent was, maybe a discount, they'll be 50%. You're not going to get 100% of it. So I think it's a different level.
So you want to do a Black Friday sale? Like you only get 50% off if you're...
motherfucker, that's it. 50%. That's it. In different levels of the shit.
So now you want to do a sliding scale based on percentages. Okay, great. So that's fantastic. Now, if you're going to do that, now this opens it up to literally everybody here. Asian, Hispanic, Native American, and white people. So now you've just broadened it out and included wholesale demographics because you're going to do a sliding scale based on percentage base. Do you see how dumb that gets?
It will
real
cost
quick.
trillions.
Yeah, I just want to add this real quick and I'll shut up. Because, I like ChatGPT. I know it, but I asked ChatGPT to weigh in on this. And it kind of aligns of what Brad is saying, and others might agree with this as well, right? So DNA alone presents a major problem, it states. Nathan, I'm curious to know how you respond to this, right? An ancestry test might indicate that someone has West or Central African ancestry, but that doesn't necessarily establish descent from a person enslaved in the United States. A recent immigrant from Nigeria, for example, as you guys were talking about, could have overwhelmingly African ancestry without descending from American slavery. Also, a descendant of American slavery could have relatively little African DNA after generations of mixed ancestry and still satisfy a lineage requirement if we were doing lineage based on DNA alone. So yeah, DNA is not going to work, my friend. I don't know that I agree with the DNA test.
So I really don't care about DNA. I said evidence. So again, my words could get taken out of context. So again, I don't really care about DNA. I said if you have evidence and proof, like I do, I said like I do, my family do, then fuck it. Then yeah, everybody else, that's just your ass. But if you have pure, I got photos. I got, I don't say my last name up on this app, but yeah, I got pure evidence directly connected and fucking where's my fucking check, bastards? That's about it.
You do.
We
Great.
can come up with all kind of sorry ass excuses.
Nathan.
We could come up with all kind of sorry ass excuses not to pay these people. And it's just honor. The first thing you should pay is honor.
Wait. So we can prove that theory too. I have black people who married into my family as well. So they've married cousins, they've married aunts and uncles, and etc. So does that make my claim that I have black people in my history? So guess what? I'm related to that? No. It has nothing to do with it. So this idea that somehow or another your proof is fucking photographs, you're denied. Your claim is denied.
This is crazy.
Food. What the fuck? What kind of shit? Is your grandfather black Viking? What the fuck? He was born. This is crazy to me. Yeah, some weird. You just call yourself smart, but that was the dumbest shit I ever heard in my fucking life.
How is that dumb? So I have an uncle who married a black woman. Wait. I have an uncle who married a black woman. And so now all of a sudden, that means I have black in my family because I have photos of weddings and relations and fucking birthday parties, Christmases, fucking every fucking holiday, me wearing a onesie bouncing on her fucking lap. I have all of that shit right there. But does that mean that I'm a black American because I have photos of black people in my fucking family? Because that's what you said, dumbass.
Census records, birth certificates. All these people are linked directly to me. From my mom's
Okay,
side to
prove
my
it.
father's side.
Prove
So
it.
you want to have like
I
6
can't prove it.
there.
That's
You
what
can't
I'm
do it through
saying.
photos.
I keep
You can't
saying.
do it through photos.
Government
You can't
records.
do it through photos.
You see, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. You can't do it through photos.
When you apply to a federal job, right? They don't even ask for your fucking DNA. They ask for your records. That's what's so crazy about it. We want to create this type of extremely high bar when it's not even necessary. What NY said is the most documented shit in crime in human history. Is documented. All this shit is documented. I can pull up all my family in 10 minutes, both sides of my fucking family, who was born XYZ. I can pull up my great-grandfather, great-grandmother.
Wait. You're very obtuse in that because again, there's a failure in Nye's logic. Watch this, Nye.
Hi, Liliana.
Hey,
How are you, sweetheart?
I can call for too long, but I'm just in the office right now. It's pretty chill. Yeah, I am. By the way, I was thinking after work, I can come over
Okay.
and take them out, and we can go to Home Goods or something. Or something like that, because I want to get some decor for my office, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a little plant or something, or some supplies or something. Maybe I can go to, either go TJ Maxx or, I don't know if they have any, all supplies at, the, or whatever. Maybe I can start, do you know anywhere, to get some cute supplies?
To get office supplies?
Yeah, some office supplies, some cute little,
Decor?
you know, pens and Sharpies and sticker notes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know lots of places like that. There's just Staples nearby. Yeah, there's Staples, there's Target.
Do we go to Target?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's just do that. Let's go to Target and let's go to Ross.
Well,
And
okay.
then let's get coffee.
Okay, sounds good.
Or you can make me coffee. I'll try your little weed coffee.
Okay.
My first day in my mountain years, so I'm fine. It's been very chill.
Nice.
Make me swing. Make me relax. Just say you hate me at this point. I do gotta go, okay?
Okay, level.
Talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you. Bye.
Moderated. I'm going to put his bio in the chat real quickly. He's a retired professor, actually. I'm one of his advisors on the tech side. So get to know Dr. David Horn. I just texted him, and he said he might be available only if the world is very well moderated. For people regarding this topic of reparations. Ahmad, is that possible? I'm done speaking.
Hold on, really quick. Somebody in the chat says I'm up here caping for whites. How? If you're black and you explain to me.
Can Bam get a response first, though?
Yeah,
Bam should be entitled to a response. He asked the mods a question.
I thought he
Bam.
landed.
Nah, they don't like
ask
truth.
the mods a question. Can one
I'm
of the
sorry.
mods
I'm
respond?
sorry. My bad. I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. My bad.
I think that's going to be more along the lines of Matt answering that question because this is Matt and I think Beaver Space. So.
If they don't want to do it, I would hold it in our club, which would be perfectly fine. It'll be moderated, and we have a diverse stage. We have Hispanic, Black, and Asian, as well as white represented in the mod panel if they're looking for a diverse mod stats. And Beaver and Matt are both people who will help control the chat when they come in. They're also part of that club. So They know that.
Hey, Brad, mob me for the day for that one, please.
So, like, and when do you do your run? This is a very serious topic, and it should be handled in a very serious manner.
We would. We did it for
Yeah.
COVID. We did it with a number of doctors. We did it with political things. The way we do our rooms is more of a sit down 60 minutes kind of calm interjection, and then we take certain people, we'll pull up one at a time or two at a time, just to, if they have a good sense of that, and we remove like trolls. They just never get on the stages. We don't allow it.
I'm gonna put my mobile in the chat, like, and just text me.
Don't put your mobile in the chat. Just send it to me in my back channels.
Okay, I can do it, but I'm a technologist. I don't fear putting my mobile in the chat. I know how to at the highest level, but I'll back channel you. Just let me know when Dr. Horn come, and we'll have a very intelligent conversation.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Viking. Appreciate you.
I thought you was gonna have an opinion about the topic.
I cut you off. Nah, what were you saying?
Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Somebody in the chat said I was caping for whites. And I had to sit here and settle and think to myself, you know what? It actually doesn't matter because I know my lived experience as a modern day Black American woman. There's nothing a white man or white people can tell me that I can or cannot do. So if y'all feel like me state that Black Americans are free today, you can be free and do whatever you want to do if you apply yourself. If you think that's caping for the white man, do you, boo? We free over here.
Yeah, you can't be talking about that self-accountability coon shit now. You know you're gonna get blasted.
Right? I have to remind myself, they've already labeled me the queen coon of Clubhouse. So I'm just gonna shut up and I'm gonna let them crash out. I have to remember we're all living on different timelines and different multiverses. And some timelines, y'all are still oppressed and you're slaves. On other timelines, we're free and we're living life and we're living out our dreams.
So here's the reality, hard reality people just don't want to admit, right? And it's really sad that I'm hearing this type of
This motherfucker says the same shit every single time.
Right? So if I'm competing against somebody, let's say I'm starting from zero, just like you and I, and a lot of us, right? And you're competing against a behemoth of a corporation worth $700 billion. Since you don't understand what's happening, if I'm starting up to compete against that company, because they had an extremely head start and a massive amount of wealth, they can actually put me out of business and say, hey, we're going to drop our prices just to suffocate him out of business. This has happened time and time again. And the fact that you don't understand that is the reason why we're in trouble today.
Okay,
Nobody's
saying that you can't.
Wait a second.
I'm gonna go after you because this idiot just started.
Wait. Let me land. I'm gonna land in 20 seconds.
I'll make it quick. I will make it quick.
Go ahead, I'm responding.
Nathan, the fact that you missed that I said, before I even ranted, I recognize we still have oppression, systemic racism, and challenges. I didn't say that our road would be easy, but you agree with me. It's the fact that you could even start, brother. We didn't have the option to even start the game, our ancestors, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Sure, I never negated the fact that there's still racism, oppression. I don't understand why you didn't hear that point. So I understand you, sir. But it's the fact that, hey, you could even start. Did our ancestors have that option in yesteryears? No, sir. Nobody said the road is easier, but you still can start. That's what I'm saying.
And now they don't run you out of business, they buy your business.
Wait, no, Nathan, you're done. So, like, the idea that racial things are based on a parity. So, like, this is really funny because he's basically saying there could be a parity if there wasn't for this head start here. So we can go look at predominantly Black nations or minority nation. Well, I wouldn't call minority. Chinese outnumber us all. So, I mean, like, we can look at these and say, hey, various groups, including in various countries in Africa, are, quote, systemically oppressed. But they're all the same racial category, right? They're all Black, right? So if there is a disparity that exists, such as in Nigeria, the Igbos getting higher rankings, more opportunities, more better college outcomes, more homes, more wealth, more generational opportunities than, say, the other 80 tribes that exist out there. Now all of a sudden, is that parity still carried over? How about in the fucking white community itself? Do you believe that parity is based on fucking skin color? Because if so, when overwhelmingly the fucking majority of white people fucking succeed beyond measure and have this like easy life? No. In fact, the vast majority of white people are what we would deem in a poverty level or near poverty rate. So if that's the case, your parity argument still falls short, because even with the quote advantages that they had, they don't have it. It's still a struggle for them. They still have to succeed. So then I can respond to that in the same way with black people. So fucking what? Get off your ass, put down the fucking dream, and fucking go work.
So how can you tell somebody who's been working who this is what's crazy about this conversation?
It's not crazy.
Black Americans are the
It's not
hardest
so crazy.
No, what's crazy is you went from DNA to photographs to now.
And that's the people who were slaves the people who were slaves and forced to work. The people who were slaves and forced to fucking work, and the immigrants ain't fucking hard workers, motherfucker.
Yeah, they are. They're owning it, and trust me.
That's
This
another
is from 7
racist. That's
states that
another
I visit.
racist fucking lie. I run
It's not
fucking
racist.
circles around everybody.
Yeah, sure you
I run
do.
circles.
Sure you
I run
do.
fucking circles
What are you
around
building?
you.
What are you building, Nathan?
I'm building something that you can't.
Wait, are you building in the black community? Wait, stop. Are you building in the black community only? Are you selling only to black people? Are you employing only black people? Wait. I want to know, are you building in the black community only? Are you hiring only black people? Are you getting only investments from black people? Is that green cheddar coming
Has
to
nothing
you?
because he's
But look
oppressed.
at the wealth of this
Wait.
nation.
I want to know, Nathan, are you building in the black community? Are you hiring only black people? Are you only taking black investments? Are you actually only catering to black clientele?
What does that have to do with the reparations?
Wait. I want to know, are you doing that?
I want to know. What does that have to do with the reparations?
You asked for a separate black economy.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Are you saying I'm supposed to give out reparations or the
Just give an
government?
answer. What are you doing? Just answer the
I do hire some black Americans as well.
Okay, thought so.
Hardest
So
working
wait.
environment.
Here's my point to this. Hold on. So here's my point to this.
The matter is,
So when it's convenient to
You said you're the
you,
hardest working.
wait. Hold on.
Don't hire them.
Hold on a moment. So this idiot wants a collectivism that's based on his race. But when it comes time to hold those principles, he's more than okay to take white investment, tax credits from a government. He's not willing to build it just solely based on a community as it's based on race. But he wants to hire white people. I'm shocked, dude. You're taking white dollars.
I'm taking tax.
You're fake, dude. You're full of shit.
Cooning, Nathan. Sounds like you cooning, Nathan. Sounds like you cooning, bro. Come on.
What grants, tax
Dude,
breaks am I
you're
getting?
fake, man.
Why
You're not
don't you
even in a
hire
black
them?
You're a
community.
coon, Nathan. You're a coon.
You're a fucking grifter. You're asking for a handout while you're sitting there getting the handout. That's your issue, dumbass. You fucking sit there and
He just ratted himself out. You a coon, Nathan. You're a coon.
I don't give a fuck where you're from. I'm from New York. What are you gonna do about it? They fucking beat your asses in Atlanta. We beat the fucking South. We sat down there, all that fucking shit. Guess what? We wiped you gray-coated and you fucking cheering on the fucking Confederacy, because there was a whole lot of black people that cheered on the fucking Confederacy. You left that part out of your
There's a
story.
whole bunch that still do to this day, Brad, too.
Motherfuckers riding around with, I'm in Texas, and the number of black people I see walking around with Confederate flags is fucking amusing to me. On their fucking trucks, their fucking hats, on their belt buckles with the fucking alligator boots from fucking shitty place. I'm amazed at the shit that I see down here. You went there and talked about I married based on my race. So shut up. No, it's not a real conversation. Not real, motherfucker. You asked for race segregation and economic prosperity, and you can't shut the fuck up. Here's the thing: you asked for a racial segregation bill to compensate you for a historical trauma and saying that you face economic hardship. But yet, when it comes to developing in the only black community, in which you're asking for an economic segregation in the United States for only black people, you turned around and didn't build in a black community, you didn't hire only blacks, and you didn't accept only investments from black people. And you don't sell just to black people. So you want to do it across the board, and you want to partake in the overall economic picture without actually taking accountability.
Brad, the simple question that he missed, the simple thing he missed, Brad, is he said they were the hardest workers, but when we asked, do you hire them? Well, I hire some. Well, if they're Brad, if you're starting a business, are you hiring? Are you hiring?
What business
are you hiring?
No, wait, we had this conversation. What business do you have?
Loser, shut up. You want to call me a loser? I'm gonna come back at you. I'll tell you what I have.
How much money?
You won't.
Yeah, how much money?
Why you ain't come
So
to my room?
Nathan, you're saying you're oppressed, but you're saying you're successful.
This is weird. This is crazy. Hello?
So you say they're the hardest. You said they're the hardest workers, and you don't even hire them. If I'm gonna start a business, I'm hiring them. You know what? In industries, in almost every trade, they are dominating right now. And you know what? What's not dominating? You know what's? I'm telling
they must be dominating your ass.
In the 3 states that I'm in, guess
obviously,
what?
your people are complaining about them. Your people.
Them.
So you're anti-American now.
Well, Nathan.
So
if you're a legal immigrant, you can do whatever you want.
This dumbass is hiring illegal aliens over America.
Okay, but Nathan,
Did you hear me say I hired an illegal immigrant?
hold on. Let me. I haven't really spoken. I've been listening.
Kingdom mods, please. What the fuck?
Thank you.
What's up, dude?
Yeah,
You didn't.
exactly. So
Never
what
did
did
I say that.
I 1 second. If we can let everybody speak one at a time, I know Pepe's trying to speak, but guys, I can't understand a lot of stuff that you guys are saying because they're like talking over each other. Go ahead, Pepe.
Thank you. I will say this. This is something that I do agree with. It's very simple. Immigrants work harder on average than native-born Americans. I would say yes, even the illegal ones. The reason being is that first of all, in order to get a merit-based immigration, you generally have something to provide. You're not going to be able to be a freeloader. Generally, you're going to be more educated than the average American. You're going to be a go-getter. Illegal immigrants, they come here to work. And illegal immigrants don't have a safety net. You did get people who got safety nets that came in seeking asylum, so there was a lot of money set aside for them under Biden. But when it comes to illegal immigrants, the ones that cross the border, they don't. They're not waiting to get a date in immigration court. They're coming here just to work. That right there, that serves as a filter for hardworking people, not freeloaders. So it's not insulting to say, the process of immigration in and of itself generally leads to people that are going to be harder working than the average American public. So it's not anti-American to say that, Nathan.
So now I'm going to say, never did I say I was hiring anybody illegally, but I will tell you this. They are overrepresented, and underrepresented is the black community in most of the trade. Now, that's from Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, throughout the Midwest, from Missouri through the Dakotas, over to Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota. Okay? I'm telling you, it's all over. They're hard workers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, whites outwork them. They don't. These guys, well, literally, one of my landscapers, I give him a hard time because his guys are out working in the rain. I said, what are you doing? Why are they out working out in the rain? He calls them and tells them, come on in here, guys, it's raining. They looked at him, they let him finish, and they went back to the work. They want to get the job done. And you know what? Props to them. I respect them. You come here the right way, you do it the right way, hey, I got zero problems with you. And this is the problems with people like you. You hear something, but you don't listen to see what was really said. For God's sakes, somebody asks you a question, and all you do is start spinning on to something else because you refuse to answer it. And that's the problem. And when you have real discussions, okay, you listen to the other side and you try to have a different perspective. You see it from a different perspective. Because if you don't, guess what? You're never going to learn. You're not the smartest man in the room. And if you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room. Okay.
So I'm wondering for somebody who's hiring.
This is the part that I had to laugh at. You said they were the hardest workers when I asked a simple question of, hey, Do you hire them? Well, I hire a couple. Well, if they're the hardest workers and I want to be successful in business, I'm hiring the hardest workers without question. There isn't no, well, maybe.
I don't hire.
Literally should live by and abide by it.
I don't
You don't
hire.
have to. Nobody said, why would you? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And as a matter of fact, in the state of Minnesota, when I filled out a 9-9, I said, how do I validate this the very first time? This happened years ago. You know what the state told me? You don't have to. Don't worry about it. That was Minnesota.
Wait, what
That's
is
the
a
problem
9-9?
that I have. It's the immigration form that they have to fill out. All they got to do is show me an ID and 2 forms of ID. And then once I put those down, Minnesota told me, don't worry about anything. They showed you what they needed to. They didn't care if they were illegal at that point. So different states do different things. But I'm telling you right now, anybody who wants to argue that they aren't some hardworking SOBs, they're crazy. I just watched a guy carrying 5 bundles of shingles. The guy probably weighed 140 pounds. 5 bundles of shingles on your shoulder. Dude, if you've ever been on a roof, you carry 1 bundle of shingles. I want to see any of you prove that you can carry 5. So here's the problem, Nathan. You can talk about loser. It's an inadequacy. I get it. You can't handle the fact that you can't answer questions, Nathan.
He's a loser. This is a dumbass.
Mr. We're oppressed, but I'm so successful. We're so oppressed, but I'm so successful.
Why are you letting that man talk to you, bro? I can't wait.
I got people close by the area, so take the mic here. I can't really talk about it.
He's too ashamed.
You just don't want people to hear the lies, or what? Because I'm amongst people. I'll say what I'm saying. I don't care.
He doesn't know how to speak constructively, so he can't engage right now about his normal, old, nonsensical responses.
No, maybe some people have HR offices. So, they don't want to handle it. You think that might be the reason why?
No.
And you think it's possible that
If it's HR, it's his HR, right?
He runs the company.
Did you
He runs
understand the
the
question?
business. He runs
Did
the
you
business.
understand the question?
He runs the business.
Did you understand the question?
Yes, the question was.
Okay, well then, let's answer the question.
HR is around him.
I'm a professional
Maybe that's
dumbass.
his reason.
Wait, you're a professional dumbass? You get
You're
a
not
career
an
in that?
entrepreneur?
My guidance counselor is so fired.
Oh yeah, he's being turned in right now. You're gonna talk like I'm a professional dumbass. Losers. That's what you're gonna say with those people around. Dude, you just cashed yourself in.
They don't want you to have the money. Yeah.
Othello.
This shit is so crazy. ICE is having a hard on. You
So
can see some
crazy.
Hispanic
Professionally, he's
person
talking
carrying
about a
baggage.
hard on. Listen, this is the guy. This is the hypocrisy of him.
So this is easy to me to listen to.
But
some
Nathan,
buffoon
do you-
who hires a loser. This is
Nathan, it's kind of like the military. Think of it somewhat like the military in terms, like the military, for example, I think, what is it? Only like 20 to 25% of people are young men today will be found medically and or just, and I guess even when it comes to past drug use, criminal history, less than 25% are eligible to even go into the armed forces.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh.
It's been true for a long time. Obesity, people having to take medications. I mean, you're very hard to deploy if you have to take medications. A lot of things. Now, like with the immigrants, basically you have to, number one, be an able-bodied person. We're talking about the people who come here to work, not the asylum claimees. But the people who come here to work, they have to be able-bodied and able to work. Otherwise, what are they going to accomplish by coming here? There's going to be no place for them to stay. There's going to be no money coming in. They have to work. So you're basically filtering for only the able-bodied working people. And they often come from, let's face it, like much harsher economies and countries than what they'll experience here in the United States. So yeah, they come here, they're generally more motivated. but they're all able-bodied people that want to work. I don't see why you're offended by that statement. Back in their home country, they're gonna have the lazy bums. They're gonna have the people that do not work hard. But those people are not going to come here because that would mean they have to work hard.
I understand his offense this time. Nathan, let me say this. I understand Nathan's offense this time in the sense that he's talking about historically slavery, centuries, hard work, no money, right? And he's basically saying that immigrants coming to this country, and it pales in comparison to that. So that argument, I think, follows. So I don't know. Would you disagree with that, Pepe?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of whining and bitching. I'll tell you why. There's one. If you were a person of black with black skin, sub-Saharan African descent, you would want to be born in the United States. The black people that do better than all of black people in the world are in the United States. You guys are the most successful, the most influential. Your standards of living are much better than elsewhere. And I can sure enough get you that if you would have been still in West Africa, had one of your ancestors not have come here as slaves, you would trust me, you would not want to be living there right now. You have it so much fucking better. The slavery that your ancestors had lived through literally provided you with the opportunity to be where to be in the best place you can be as a black person.
Okay, one question.
Today.
One question.
The argument, but hold on, the argument.
I mean, because you're making up a lot of
The argument is around the last 300 years.
Hello?
That's the argument. Around the last 300 years, who has worked harder? Slaves?
Y'all gonna let us talk?
Can I please hear Erica for a second?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Erica then Othello.
To make it seem like black people got here because motherfuckers were slaves is crazy. We were here long before you motherfuckers ever
Why do you guys
showed up.
We gotta
And
listen
you
to
need
this.
to do your goddamn history.
That's not
Like,
true.
go find the real history. It is true.
No, it's not.
Okay, let me just push back. Let me support Erica's claim. All you have to do is Google Christopher Columbus's diary and actual movements. The Taínos, the indigenous people, told him that Africans were already coming. They even had the spears that were made in Africa. All you have to do is Google these. Hold on.
Okay,
hold on,
great.
hold on.
What's your point?
Hold on,
Let's
hold
just
on,
say we
hold on.
believe you. What's your
Hold on,
point?
hold
Let's
on,
say we
hold on.
believe you.
Hold
What's
on,
your point?
CEO. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna just support Erica's claim. Okay, then he took the spears back to Spain, and they concluded that Africans were already coming to the Americas in boats. One more thing that I'm gonna push back on Pepe.
Yeah, which
So you
Africans
said-
though?
Okay, hold on. West Africans.
Yeah, but
And then,
what tribe? What people?
I
Just
gotta-
let him
I
have
gotta
the
do
point.
I gotta do
It
the due
doesn't
diligence.
matter.
I gotta do the due diligence on that. Okay, and then Pepe, let me push back and say that you said if they didn't bring us over, we would be doing a lot worse in Africa. Do you mean with no colonization at all, like King Leopold, the Dutch, the French, no colonization of Africa at all?
Yeah, there was colonization of Africa, but that still doesn't refute my point that as a black person, you would way rather be born here versus the Caribbean versus Latin America versus Africa. That is just a fucking fact.
With no colonization?
Yeah, with no colonization.
Oh,
Absolutely.
no, I can't say that.
Okay.
I can't say that. You have the
Well, we see what
people-
happens once they're decolonized. It ends up getting worse for the black people themselves.
They weren't all just, you know what I mean, like swinging
Othello,
from trees.
Othello.
Like there were lineages.
Hold on for a second.
There were the
Black
Akan people.
Americans-
Hold on, the Akan people, the Bamileki. You have like there were all kinds of things going on in West Africa.
Let's talk about the point that Pepe made. He's talking about now, due to sacrifices of Black Americans. My grandfather, my great grandfather, people like those people, right, made this country a better place for Black Americans. Nobody didn't give us shit. Some white Americans also made it better. We fought each other. There's a whole bunch of killing and bloodshed, and now we're reaping the results today. but don't make it. Don't act like this place was a beautiful place for Black people. They always have been. Just recently, it's been somewhat better. So I mean, it's this great sacrifice. I'm dead serious. And people born like my grandfather, born in the 20s, he didn't have a fun fucking time when he had to map out.
You a real motherfucking suck over here bowing down to this bullshit, bro. You need to stop speaking from
Well, Nathan, I'm just gonna.
Motherfucking embarrassing, nigga. It's embarrassing.
Okay. All right, Nathan, we can talk about what Black people sacrifice for this country. Fair enough. I'm gonna. This is only my opinion, but I think there's people like myself, and quite frankly, probably most white Americans don't really deserve what we've inherited, and don't really respect what the men from previous generations had to go through to provide this.
You ain't giving the benefits back.
Shut the fuck up, bitch!
No, you shut the fuck up, bitch. You ain't giving the benefits back, hoe ass nigga. What the fuck you? Why you?
Shut the fuck up, bitch, because I was, don't interrupt
Yes, you do.
me.
You deserve it, bitch. You deserve it, hoe ass nigga.
Move to audience.
And this is why we have...
This isn't Lou Vax's room where you can just act like a fucking crackhead and scream out. It's just fucking annoying. No, but I do think that we inherited something, and we are all blessed. Out of all the places we could have been born in the world, we were born here. I think there was a tremendous amount of sacrifice that white men, primarily, just because they were the majority, they made to provide what we ended up inheriting here in the United States. But you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for it. Should all of those white men who died in wars, the ones that died in what was it, close to 500,000 or something crazy like that in the Civil War? Shouldn't we owe them something? Why should they have lost their lives fighting for a vision of our country? For what? So they can have people like you that are ungrateful and think they should be owed more? Like I guess I just don't understand why you think you're owed something.
So after the Civil War, Pepe, a bad thing that happened, right? That happened soon after the Civil War, Jim Crow rose up. Extremely bad things happened to Black people in the Jim Crow era. Just imagine a terrorist group like ISIS, like I keep saying, ran amok. Many people were lynched. Many towns were wiped the fuck out. Generations. I'm talking about families.
Yeah, but the lynching almost always preceded.
This happened after the Civil War.
I get it, but let's talk. We can talk about the lynching. Almost all of those lynchings. A crime ended up taking place. And if you look at the Old West and much of the American frontier, justice was very swift, and it generally happened at the end of a rope. That happened to all kinds of people. There were a lot of people that were lynched. And once again, this is something you did not experience.
Unjustly is the principle.
Somebody got. I don't know. I kind of feel like there's a lot I can complain about America for, but then I could imagine if I was like one of the soldiers that had to storm the beaches of Normandy under really heavy gunfire, watching some of their comrades get shot and shit. And I could only imagine that they'd probably think I was a whiny bitch. That I had to sacrifice and put up with so much less adversity than they did, and they were half my age when they did it. And quite frankly, I even look at you guys compared to a lot of Black people in the past. I do see a lot of whining and bitching and wanting like free handouts, and it is kind of.
But it's not free. It
is free. You didn't do anything to earn it.
We're not asking for $1 more than what's actually owed in the debt.
We're asking for more than what we owed.
Born in Jim Crow, right?
$1 trillion.
Born in Jim Crow.
Fuck it. Issue it. Give it to us. See what happens.
He didn't harass you.
Wait a second, Pepe.
Wait a second. Again.
They snatched him off the street. This is your grandpa, right? The person that you love and care about. They took him to war to fight in World War II in Germany. Almost died fighting for his life and fighting for this country as well. Imagine this. You fought to free another country, Jewish people.
Oh, here we go.
You come back to your
Gotta
country,
bring
just
in
get
the
spit in the
Jews,
face and told you to
man.
go sit in the back of the bus. The financial opportunities get taken, Pepe. This is the person that you love and care
Sure,
about,
but
right?
once again,
Who's just
just like how I did not
This is
experience,
this is
how I did not
raising
experience.
and
I know,
That's not
but
right.
just like how I
They
did
gotta
not
be-
experience the our service members had to do during World War
I
II.
did experience.
You did not have to experience what you're experiencing. Okay, I did not
experienced
inherit.
the
Both of my grandparents served in wars, the Vietnam and Korean War, or not Vietnam. Excuse me, World War II and one Korea. That trauma did not nothing. I do not get to take the valor from them for what the positive things they accomplished, and I also don't get to take the baggage on. Okay, I can't make a claim that I'm good because of what they did, or I'm owed something because of what they did, because because it happened to them, not me.
Okay, can I hold on? Nathan, give me a second. Give me 1 second, Nathan. I just want to read one thing for Pepe, and then you can have it. It's just a paragraph. President Donald Trump signed legislation related to Holocaust-era property recovery, specifically the JUST Act of 2018, Justice for Uncompensated Survivors Today, and updates to the HERE Act, the Holocaust Expropriated Art Recovery Act. These laws do not grant new property ownership directly. Instead, they help Holocaust survivors and their heirs track uncompensated assets and pursue legal claims in U.S. courts for stolen art and cultural property. So, this is for Holocaust survivors and their heirs, okay? And Trump ignited these acts and just signed an extension on these acts, okay? So people are getting their just due. And their heirs are as well.
But I'm just curious. How are they going to enforce this? And who? In other words, they can't go. The U.S. can't go to Germany and say, "Hey, you stupid fucking kraut! You took these from Jews. You took that from a Jewish family. I don't know, 80 years ago. We're going to go ahead and take it from you. Thank you."
They are, and let me tell you what they're doing. Look, I'm going to give you 3 things they're doing. It requires the U.S. State Department to report on certain European nations' progress regarding restitution for property seized by Nazi and communist regimes. Now, it does not give the U.S. government power to seize or reassign property overseas, but it focuses on accountability and transparency for unresolved Holocaust-era claims. Okay, right. So people are
sure. I think that's kind of getting dicey, but I would say, if Nathan's grandfather, if he could bring up actual claims of what to him, if he was, I don't know if he's still around, that cost him money, that he took property from him, I'm perfectly okay.
Now, it's a lot of that going on,
that.
because all you got to go do is look at what's the richest zip code in America? Isn't it West Palm Beach in California?
Could be.
Okay, all right. Now go look at the history of who built West Palm Beach.
I don't know, Jews, I'm guessing?
No, African Americans.
Amazing.
Not only that, they built up. Hold on. They built up West Palm Beach, all the infrastructure, everything that you see there. Then they were pushed out. Actually, they had their neighborhoods burned, and they were pushed out.
That's
so
a shame.
That they couldn't live there anymore.
Well, that's more of an economic issue. So I mean,
okay. Well,
the poor Americans, really, despite their color, if you live on land that the wealthiest people want to live in, they're going to find a way to get your ass off the land, and they're going to go ahead and develop it, for themselves. That's just is what it is.
What I'm saying is, why are we doing things for Holocaust survivors? And we won't do things for slaves?
Because the Jewish lobby is really powerful, but even still, I just told you that it's dicey. So I'm not
get our lobby.
But I would say this. Here's the difference, though, too. They're talking about getting. They're talking about getting seized or property that was taken during World War II. That's not involving us paying our taxpayer dollars to Jews as reparations for something we didn't fucking do to them.
Well, they already got the
there's a
reparations
big
from Germany.
difference.
They
There's
already
another
got
big
the
difference.
reparations from Germany. And now a foreign nation, the United States, has to go in just to make sure that they get properties that were lost. So if we talk about Jim Crow, we're talking about pushing people off of land after they built up businesses, after they built up houses, burning houses down. Don't you think that could go into reparations for the heirs and for the people?
Okay, then you're talking about something that happened to literally every fucking demographic. If you lived on land that was deemed valuable, and you were just a peon, you were just an everyday Joe, didn't have any money, didn't have any power, you were not going to keep that fucking land. That is why you do not see, to this day, any of the people that would have originally lived along the coast in fucking California. Why? Because they were kicked the fuck out. You can look at one of the worst examples, I would say, in the United States. You can look at the Native Hawaiians. Where are the Native Hawaiians now? They're pretty much have been bred out of existence. Now you get a bunch of fucking Asians that are maybe 20% Hawaiian, trying to fake the funk, acting like they're Pacific Islanders. But these people were forced off basically foreigners came in, bought up the most beautiful parts of the island, got all the prime real estate, relegated them to being second-class citizens, and treated them like absolute fucking shit. Okay? We can look at the Native Americans, obviously. A lot of them were forced relocated. We can go on and on and on about this. This has happened to so many different groups of people.
The Polish in Detroit, Pepe, too, when they were building a lot of the automotive companies, they used eminent domain. The big three used the government to enforce eminent domain to build a lot of their factories and the highways and freeways. Yeah, so a lot of Polish and blacks got disenfranchised with the eminent domain shit.
So Pepe, you said it was the Jewish lobby is because they're very powerful.
Of course.
Okay. All right. Well, blacks, you heard that. We got to get our lobby.
You guys don't have
There's another big difference, which is the Jewish argument is simple and understandable. There's clarity around it, right? We want X.
Don't go a few blocks away.
Can you articulate for me the easy to understand position around reparations that doesn't require a $50 billion study administration before anyone gets a check? Just lay out the simple, it doesn't take 72 verification methods. Case. Go ahead, Othello. Nathan, yours is convoluted as hell. Othello, please.
Okay. For the victims of chattel slavery, transatlantic slavery, they need reparations from the Africans that sold them, the European nations that for the transportation.
The Africans that sold them are long dead.
United States for
you want the descendants of those slave traders to pay.
For the indentured servitude for the slavery. Period. So we need it. So we need a check from a combined check. When we do the numbers, right?
You have to do a study, don't you? You have to do an economic study, don't you?
I'm talking. Let me get the numbers. Everett, you got it after me. Let me just give them a number. When we're talking about at least just 65,000 a piece, because that's what we're talking about. Even when you talk about trillions, you're only talking about what, 65K, 75K, which I lost that in the crypto market last summer.
Oh.
So it's in the trillions.
Oh.
And it would be about 60 to 70K.
He lost 75K in the crypto. He's gonna get his reparation back.
Thank you for actually having a number. I mean, that puts you far ahead of a lot of other people. And also, I like the fact that you are trying to incorporate it internationally, right? Which means that you can go through some processes. Okay. I find you, because he's basically saying that the West African countries have to be involved and the European countries have to.
And let me tell you why.
He's not saying it's all on America. No, I get it. And let me just say this real quick. So that is by far that would be another reparations, but it's a much more reasonable position than Nathan, and it's a much clearer position than Nathan. So I do like it for that reason. Now I'm just going to tell you what my proposal is. All right, my proposal is designed to even be simpler than that. It is basically, if you were alive during Jim Crow, the government illegally discriminated against you, you were caused harm, you get a check. The check is about $100,000. It's based off the fact that white slave owners in America and DC received reparations of $300-something. You take that, you do about 4% a year in interest over 100-something years, comes out to about $100,000. It's only for people who are still alive today. The reason for this is it would pass the race barrier of the Supreme Court, right? Because it's not a race-specific thing.
Yeah, that's why
It
I
is for
said that's why I
people
said
who
victims of
receive
terrorism.
legal harm
Yes,
from the federal government.
Yes, that's exactly
Right.
what
Well,
I said.
hold on, Dello. But
Hold on, I'm
you,
just
but
supporting
the
this one.
going across the pond to get money from other people, that's not America. So that would be another reparations. But one thing that you have to understand is some of those people died. I don't know if you remember that slaves were kind of beaten. Nathan, you're a fucking coon, and they're on your ass. Second, any cracker that don't think that niggas should be paid for their money, their family redlining, it's way more than just slavery. Slavery is just what most people want to talk about. Some black people weren't even slaves in America, so that's another caveat. There's some white people that technically could file for it because indentured servitude does fall on a slave. A lot of Peckerwoods was sent over as urchins and like vagabonds and fucking whores from England, so they got sent this way. So they probably could apply for it as well. But this is the key thing. A lot of the states and cities, we need people like Lake Lanier, Rosewood, Florida. These places were burnt down. Tulsa, Oklahoma. These places were burnt down. That's where the bulk of the reparations needs to really be, to the places that thrive during white people's what was that? The Great Depression? Yeah. Black people were having a renaissance. Black people were doing great out of slavery. Actually, they were almost in posture to take over the working class in America because they had all the fucking trades. White people didn't know how to do shit, right? So now, if you have to give back the inventions, the land, and the actual payment for pain and suffering, this will be way more than a couple $1 trillion. See, this is why it can't be paid. But I do agree with Americans. I'm a Republican myself. I really do believe that people need to be able to prove they are descendants of slaves. It can't be just to every black person. Some of these niggas from Gullah Gullah Island, who the fuck cares about a motherfucker from Jamaica? Like some of these people aren't even natural born citizens, right? I'm pushing for birthrights. I need Trump to pass that because a lot of these fucking Gullah Gullah Island speaking motherfuckers come over and they think they can apply for it. Then you got the Yum Yums, the Chink Chanks from China. They come over and try to get in on certain shit too. Then you got the
We get it, Pedro. The point is that this is an ideology. This is an ideology not based on individual damages. As you heard Nathan said, he wants slave traders in Africa.
He's white and hasn't done anything with his whiteness. That is crazy. Being a poor white is really crazy. Anyway, so let's get back to it. So even the Indian guys, right? Now they've been caught up for fraud. I need black people to do one thing in America. Black Americans, fuck the tethers, right? Black Americans, stay the fuck out of politics that don't include America or black people. If it doesn't say America or black people, stay the fuck out of it. We don't care about the Indians, the Puerto Ricans, if they want to get out of order, the Spaniards, anybody. We're for America, America. Yeah, if they want to be, right? They got kind of jazzy when we were throwing toilet paper at them. We shouldn't have thrown anything at them, but whatever. So now, when we get back to the facts of the matter, I need us to stay out of things that don't apply to us, and I need white people to actually be racist to the rest of the fucking people that are here. Like, I have no problem with racism. If white men, can y'all get back to racism?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't exist. You're confirming that the structural white racism theory is incorrect and wrong.
Man, listen, I'm about to land. I like racism. See, I like when black and white people were racist to each other and we had this thing called segregation. You know why? Because it pushed the country forward. It didn't have to be politically correct. You were what you were. If somebody didn't like it, so what? Fuck you. This was America. This is an American country. We have our own problems. Black and white people have been here from the inception. There's only 2 or 3 Americans. I'm going to do 3, but we all know the natives are full of shit. I'm going to land here. So there's the white American that came, and there's black Americans. Either the ones that were already here or the ones that came over on the slave ship. But those are the only Americans, right? Everybody else they're like Johnny come latelys. And I know a lot of people like, well, Pedro, how could you say that? White people are immigrants. Nah, if their parents were here, their grandparents were here before the Constitution was written. No, they're actual citizens. That's what it means. The country was constituted then, so they would be citizens. All I'm saying is we have to atone for the sins. If we don't atone for the sins, it's kind of like you guys are full of shit.